Behold the fruit of the ginkgo tree. The female ginkgo trees drop a lot of these ginkgo nuts in the fall. They kind of smell a little bit like somebody puked, but I've heard they're quite nutritious. These two parks here, Leone Beach Park, which is where we are now, and Loyola Beach Park, which is where we're heading, are both part of the Lakefront Park network that was created here in the earliest 20th century by the city of Chicago, and are still quite popular now with the people who live nearby. I used to live near this park several years ago, and it's always was one of my favorite places to come on a day off and just wander along the lakefront. And it looks different from season to season, from day to day. Sometimes even different times of the day it looks different. There's a lot of these ginkgo trees around here, which make this playground kind of smell a little bad, but nobody here at the playground today seems to think anything of it. This building here we're looking at has been a lot of things since I've been living here. I've been living in Chicago for the last 23 years, and it's been any number of different things, more or less snack bar related. It was a pina colada place for a while, and it's now vacant again. There wouldn't be anybody here at this time of year anyway, though, because generally it's just open during the summertime. As you can see, it's a popular place for various bird species, including ducks, seagulls, and of course people here with their dogs, which aren't birds, but you know what I mean. One of the things I've always liked about this lake, and particularly this little stretch of lakefront, has been how the light changes so much from day to day. And it's never the same twice. These reeds and plants that you see here on the right are the result of many years of reclamation efforts here at the beach. None of this was here when I lived down here. But they were having a lot of problems in this part of Chicago with the beaches washing away. And as you can see, we're starting to get sand dunes here again, which this is the natural habitat of this region. So what we see here is what it should look like. And of course, when they built all these buildings here and settled this area, they tore a lot of this out, and now they're seeing the utility of having this here. It's very cool. You have these are native grasses here that would be growing here naturally. Of course, these trees were planted many years later, but they still kind of fit in. They're not about to take the trees out. You can see, looking ahead here, the old beacon as was used to be a lighthouse back in the 19th and 20th centuries, and would let mariners be able to know where along the lakefront they were. This one has been derelict for a long time. They finally took the beacon itself out, which was automated for a while, and in the last few years has fallen into disrepair, so they just removed it, and just the skeleton of the beacon is there now. But it's been decommissioned for a long time. You can also see here these breakwaters, these metal structures that are put to keep the beach from washing away, essentially. It's an anchor for the beach to hold on to, I guess you could say. But it wasn't really doing its job. So that's why they're replanting these dunes over here, is to try to get the beach more stable and to keep it from washing away. This building here is the public restroom. There's always been sort of a little fitness park here, but I think it looks like to me like they've completely pulled that out. I think being right here along the lakefront was not good for these wooden exercise equipment that they had set up here. So I remember also the sand from the dunes, the new dunes, overtaking some of them, so they might still be there underneath. I know they have a lot of issues here with the sand covering up the path. They have to keep this path swept so that the nature doesn't overtake it. Kind of a good problem to have, if you ask me. You can see here that the benches even are being overgrown. It's amazing how short-sighted people used to be in regards to maintaining these urban environments. It's actually been a few years since I've been down this way, and it looks a lot nicer, I have to say. It didn't used to look quite this nice. Yeah, when they first started this dune project, it was pretty spotty. And of course, the existence of this dune project doesn't really affect too many people as far as the recreation goes, and people are still coming down here walking and biking and jogging and dog walking and going to the beach, among other activities down here, both legal and illegal, because it's a big city, and of course you have that everywhere. Over here on the left here on the beach side, we have, you can see some trees over there and more grasses, native grasses. This was just plain beach 20 years ago. These trees are all new and have grown pretty quickly. Some of these benches are covered to the point where they're not so easy to sit on anymore. I'm sure people still find a way. It looks like they'd be comfortable to sleep on, some of them. And that's probably why they're still more or less uncovered. I think people probably do sleep on these benches at night. I don't want anybody to think here that I'm bashing on Chicago, because I know Chicago gets its share of bashing, especially in the right-wing media. But every city has homeless people. These problems exist everywhere in every city, no matter where they are. Lake is definitely beautiful today. Another activity that a lot of people do around here is playing Pokemon. There's a lot of Pokestops right in this area, so if you're in Chicago, please, be careful, but come down here and during the day and you'll be fine. Coming up here on the right, we have the Loyola Park benches. These are a series of concrete benches that were built, I believe, back in the 1950s. And now they're still here as benches, of course. But every year in June, the city of Chicago sponsors a bench painting contest. Usually they have a theme every year. And so there's sometimes there's advertising, but most of the time it's just people from around the neighborhood just painting what they like. You get a reserve I think it's about a 3.5 foot section of wall, maybe 4 foot section of wall, and you have everybody from little children to senior citizens painting on here. I'll show you a few of these, maybe not all of them, but maybe we will show all of them. Ooh, boobies. Among the other local businesses, you often get other civic organizations and churches and that kind of thing. I like this guy's work. He's a regular here every year. He always does something lovely like this. Like the puppy. Cool trilobite. In memory of Oreo the cat. I knew an Oreo. Have our local tennis courts here. This little park over here is called Tobey Prinz Beach Park. And Tobey Prinz was a community activist who started a group about saving the beaches here. So we probably owe Tobey Prinz a lot for the preservation of the beaches here. And this cool little playground has been here since, I think, the 60s. And kind of a very classic kind of style of concrete architecture. During warmer weather, there's always people here. This is kind of a popular hangout, and of course kids play on these concrete structures and hopefully don't get hurt. They don't look all that safe, I must say. So these flags you see, there was another one back there, but these flags here, they're put up by the lifeguards, the Leone Park and Loyola Park lifeguards every year, and they track how safe it is to swim in the water. Obviously right now it's not very safe to swim. The water temperature is kind of cold here, and a little bit rough too. You can see down here at the end of the pier, the light. I'll try to get down there before the battery runs out. This old willow tree has been here for ages. This was here when I moved here. Beautiful tree. The lower branches get broken off a lot. But oh, there's two of them. That's this little beach grass area here was all beach when I moved here. And if you look over yonder, you can see downtown Chicago. That was always my favorite view. On a clear day, you can see all the way to the North Indiana buildings, the steel mills and so forth, and see the smoke coming up from the foundries in Gary. Today is a little bit hazy, so you're not going to see anything like that today. Looks like the battery is about to run out, so I want to thank everybody for watching this and hope you enjoyed it. There's a lot more to come.